What's going on, my peoples? What's going on, boxing aficionados? Welcome to BFTV. I'm your boy, Coach Chris, aka the GreenEyes Bandit. And today I'm going to be breaking down Saturday night's event. Well, for us in the East Coast, it was Saturday early event, right? Because it started at 11 o'clock in the morning, and man, there were some big upsets on that card. So let's get right into it, guys. We have a new light heavyweight undisputed champion, Dimitri Bivol, who won the WBA, the WBC, the IBF, WBO, and the ringside titles on Saturday night. I thought he did a good job adjusting to this rematch. He somewhat dominated more rounds this time around, boxed very, very well against Bivol. Didn't allow Arthur Beterbiev to get too close, and every time Arthur Beterbiev did get close, Bivol was able to sit down on his punches a little bit and let his hands go and move his feet well this time around. And he was actually the fresher fighter this time around all the way to the end. Arthur in the 12th round, Arthur Beterbiev put the pressure on him a little bit and actually cut him up a little bit. But other than that, man, congratulations to Dimitri Bivol for becoming undisputed light heavyweight champion. You know, in his last outing, I believe he was going through a lot of things mentally. For example, you know, his personal issues with his family. You know, I think that played a part in his last fight. Where this time around, I think he was more clear-headed, you know, for this event. And it showed, man. He looked so fresh. He looked happy in there. He looked confident in there. Kudos to Bivol, man. I really like Bivol, man. He's one of those fighters that really has grown to me. You know, I've always liked his technique. I've always loved the way he basically just mastered the 1-2 and just used simple footwork, you know. So it was a great night for the light heavyweight division. What's next for Beterbiev and Bivol? I think they might work on the third fight. That was my prediction in the last video, right? I said they're gonna give it to Bivol, you know, and then make a third fight. But to be honest with you, I mean, we saw the fight. They didn't give anything to Bivol. Bivol earned this win victoriously. And I would love to see Bivol against David Benavidez now. You know, I think that's the fight that should happen next because he won it. But then again, you know, he has an option. They could do Beterbiev or Bivol. It'll still be an exciting fight, whoever they pick. You know, I know that Benavidez is down to fight either one of them two. But just because Bivol won this fight, I say make that fight against Benavidez, and then whoever wins that fight, fight Bivol. On that same card, we also had Joseph Parker defeating Martin Bakole. Man, oh man, that was another fight that I picked Bakole to win. Although, you know, again, I never took anything away from Joseph Parker. He's one of my favorite heavyweights in the division because of his boxing skills. And once again, you know, the only thing that I questioned about Bakole was his conditioning for this fight because he took the fight at short notice. However, condition or no condition, Joseph Parker caught him with a shot in the equilibrium, wobbled him, and Bakole's peoples, his corner, stopped the fight. Why not? I think he got paid like $2 million for this fight or something like that. So either way, Bivol really didn't lose anything, you know. He'll come back again. We'll see him again on the next one. I would love to see Bivol versus Dubois, who was originally the one who was supposed to fight Joseph Parker. However, you know, due to the fact that that was the original fight, I think Dubois should still get an opportunity to fight Joseph Parker, and I believe that's the fight that's going to happen next. And the winner of that fight, then maybe Bivol could get a rematch with Joseph Parker if he pulls the win, or if Dubois wins the fight, then it'll be a great fight between Bivol and Dubois, because I believe that Dubois right now has a momentum going for him ever since he knocked out Anthony Joshua. I believe his spirit, his passion is still in there, because he had lost it for a little while after one of his losses, right? A lot of people call him a quitter, but thank God he's back. He's working again. He put himself back on top. So hopefully we'll get to see that fight next. On that same card, we also saw Shakur Stevenson defeating Josh Padley by 9th round TKO with a good body shot. Well, that was a fight that I think everybody knew that Shakur Stevenson is just on another level, you know. And he did what he was supposed to do. Take out a guy that was not on his level, take him out. But although, like I thought, Josh Padley gave him a tough fight. He didn't come down just to sit down and lose. Josh Padley tried, you know. It was just he didn't have the experience to go up against someone of Shakur Stevenson's caliber. So kudos to Josh Pally. I think he won a lot of fans over. I think he won himself the opportunity to be seen again by us boxing fans. I think he's a fun fighter. I thought it was a good fight. You know what I mean? Listen, Shakur Stevenson was looking dominant. However, Josh Pally made it exciting by bringing it to him. He wasn't afraid of Shakur Stevenson. You know, he applied pressure at times. You know, he let his hands go at times also. So it was a good fight. Also on that card was Carlos the Dominican Adames versus Hamza Shiraz. Man, listen, guys, that fight unfortunately went to a draw. And I say unfortunately because I believe Carlos Adames in that fight actually got robbed. I didn't think that fight was a draw. I thought Shiraz did use his height well, moved his feet well at times, but Carlos Adames was working the body very well. And not only worked the body, he was landing shots to the body. And I thought he outscored Shiraz, you know, so, you know, it was unfortunately for him. What's next for Carlos Adames, we're just going to have to wait to see. I don't want to see a rematch with Shiraz. I don't think Shiraz deserves a rematch. Not because of Shiraz, but because of Shiraz peoples, whoever was behind that scoring. And we know how boxing works, guys. I mean, let's not act like we don't know what happens in that game. You know, there's a reason we never see these judges or referee get interviewed sometimes. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to leave it at that, okay? Not saying that these guys are crooked, but listen, man, something happened in that fight. You know what I mean? Hamza Shiraz was definitely the favorite by someone else on those big seats, okay? Another big, huge win was Virgil Ortiz defeating Israel Madrimov via unanimous decision. Listen, I picked Madrimov for an upset, but again, just like Joseph Parker, I wasn't counting out Virgil Ortiz. I think the only reason I went with Madrimov was because of his performance against Terence Crawford. I thought he gave Terence Crawford difficulties in there, but it made it very, very close. He's a big guy, 154 pounds. And Virgil Ortiz's last fight, was it Boca Chica that he fought? I thought, you know, him coming forward and applying pressure, you know, was going to be good. But I thought Madrimov was going to use his feet, box well, you know, box more. But, man, no, Virgil Ortiz Jr. and his team, credit to Roberto Garcia, they had a good plan. It was just applying pressure and going to that body. And he was connecting a lot to the body. So that's what slowed Israel Madrimov and forced Israel to really fight in the inside. Also didn't allow him to really box the way he wanted to box. So there you go. I think Virgil Ortiz Jr. is ready for Terence Crawford. Now we're ready to see that fight. Now I think he's convinced all the fights. Listen, you saw what I do with Madrimov. Watch what I'm going to do with Terence Crawford, right? So that's the next big fight. I know Terence Crawford is eyeing Canelo Alvarez. I disagree once again because he has to jump about 2 weight classes in order to fight Canelo. Although, again, I think Terence Crawford has the goods in order to beat Canelo also and cause an upset. Okay, I know many will disagree. But hello, this is boxing, guys. We can never count the opponent out. We can never count another guy out, okay? We can never count the underdog or the smaller guy out. We've seen that throughout history where the underdog or the smaller guy comes down with big victory, with big victories, right? Also on that card was Ajit Caballero, who defeated, what's his name? Zalil Zhang. Wow. Zalil Zhang, I didn't see that coming. I thought Zalil Zhang was going to win by maybe a majority decision also because of his experience, his Olympic experience. And, you know, he's shown a lot of good boxing skills in this heavyweight division. You know, we remember how he took out Deontay Wilder, you know, and you know, although I knew that Ajit Caballero was a tough young fighter, caught me off guard. And he was dropped in that fight too. You know, that's when I thought Zhang had it. But no, Ajit, you know, dig down deep into his heart, came up and started going to the body and caught him with a nice straight right cross, I think it was, straight to the soaplex. And that took Zalil Zhang out of there also. But also on the card was Callum Smith, who defeated Joshua Bausi. I predicted that Callum Smith was going to come out with the win. Not because of anything special. Callum Smith is just a tough fighter. and with a lot of experience in there. And, you know, I have watched Joshua Boutsi's earlier fights beforehand, and I thought he was a little bit wild. You know, I know he wanted to turn it into a fight, and if he turned it into a fight, I thought that was Callum Smith fight, because Callum Smith is a good boxer, knows how to use his height, knows how to use his range, and we definitely saw that in that fight, guys. So it was a great card overall. You know, I had a lot of fun watching that fight. That's what boxing's all about. You know, I like to make picks and be proven wrong, okay, guys? You know, no matter what type of experience I have as a coach and as a former amateur fighter, you know, boxing, you can never predict. You can never really predict the real outcome. You know what I mean? We're really always guessing, even if we guess good sometimes, you know? But other than that, it was a great card. We hope to see another one. Stay tuned for next week card. Tank Davis, man, he's on the card against Lamont Roach. I think that fight is going to be a whole lot better than what people think. I really do think Lamont Roach has a chance against Tank Davis. They know each other. They're familiar with each other in the amateurs. I understand that Tank Davis is bringing a type of power that a lot of people feel that Lamont Roach is not going to be able to take. I think differently. I think that fight is going to be great. I love Lamont Roach. Also, you know, I met him as a young kid when he was younger. He's a very humble kid also, like Tank Davis, man. These are two tough kids, you know what I mean? They're going to give it their all. So let's stay tuned for that one. I'll come back in the next video. But until then, guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and also remember, keep your chin tucked in, guards held high, and protect yourself at all times, guys. Peace.